Okay, one sec here. Just get everything set up. There we go. All right. Yeah, at some point here, do a stream or something, or I guess I'll also just work on my own on improving my little model here because it's kind of sad looking. Anyway, hello everyone, welcome back. I hope you've been having a good day so far. So I did some more work on this lexer, and so I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what that's looking like now. So first off, I'll start by just putting in basically most of these. I don't know if I'll get all of them all at once. Let's see, bool, break, const, continue. I won't get them all, but I've got all of them done in. Ooh. Okay. Internet's being a little finicky. Anyway, so if you do this, you see we've got all of these, right? And if, like, if I were to do something else, like for example, you know, something like this, you accidentally put them together, it will recognize that as an identifier, not as a keyword, which is very important. I've got things like those. Both of those are recognized as keywords. What else? Others, and I can't remember. I mean, there's stuff like var and while and all that. I've got all the keywords done. Also, if I go and do something like this, that's an O, not a 0. If you do something like this, it recognizes it as a hexadecimal, right? And you can also try something like this, and it'll break it up because these characters here are not valid hex. So it splits that into an identifier and a hexadecimal integer. I can do Boolean. So something like this. And if I put in 3 there, then it'll break that up as well. As you can see, all of that is working. The one thing that is not working just yet is decimals. If I do something like this, it does work. It recognizes it. If I were to do something like this, it's not going to work. It doesn't recognize that yet. So that's something I'm going to be working on today, and hopefully be able to finish everything up. There's some. Hold on, let me get to the lexer. Oops. We want to go to .c. Okay. And let's start here. So there's a couple of things that I need to do. I need to go ahead and get all the operators done. So I'll just go through here, get the OR operator. Let's see, XOR. Can't remember the order these are in, but we'll just work from what I can remember here. Oh, I also need to do comments. That's something I haven't done yet. Okay. Let's see. Equal. That's one. Assign. That's another. And then I'll need to do delimiters after that. But for now, we'll stick with these. So, advance, yd, lex, or. Oh. Getting all that wrong. Advance, lex, xor. they're all going to have sort of similar behavior to the and lexing thing. That's just kind of how things are going to work. Add sub and then this is going to be yd lex assign lex access. Okay. I think that's everything. All of the, actually no, not all the operators. There's a couple more. Hold on. Opt. It's called option. So it's opt, but option is the full thing. What else? I think here, is there anything else that I'm forgetting? Don't think so. I mean, I'll deal with the limiters here in a minute, but for now we'll stick with the operators. Okay, let's go 400. Okay, still at the bottom. So you need to go to around 500, I'm guessing then. Yep. Okay, actually even further. It's like you see here all this stuff for getting numbers, and I'm actually not even done, because as an example, if it turns out that the dot is if it's followed by a number, then it's going to be treated as a number, right? And there's one issue that I've discovered that could theoretically be a significant problem. Let's see. It's going to require me to be able to look ahead, which I've been kind of hesitant to do if I can help it. But essentially what's happening what I'm thinking about here is that, let's say I've got a number like this, right? Perfectly reasonable number, right? The trouble is, do I want to make it so it's two separate numbers, and then this dot here is handled at compile time and just kind of glues them together as a single floating point integer? Or do I want it to all get put together during lexing and then like have it all come together? The reason that's a concern is, let's say that I want to allow people to have functions that operate on primitives. And so in this case, that would be something like, this dot would be a good example. This dot toString, right? Let's say we wanted something like that. Now, this could theoretically be valid, right? Could theoretically be valid. I'm not sure that I want it to be, because that basically just means that, like I said, this problem here of having to decide what this dot is, like I can't decide whether or not this dot is part of an integer or part of some kind of access operation. So I'm not sure if I really want to allow for this. It's not, I don't think this would be like a common operation anyway, and it's something you can pretty easily work around, because you can, you could do something like, let I equal 13, and then do I.toString, right? That's perfectly valid. That makes total sense. And so I think that's how I'm going to have to do things, and basically just make it so that you can't use dot operations on primitives. That's kind of where I'm going, I think. And so if that's the case, then that's going to affect some of the decisions I make. So anyway, let me actually go real quick because I'm going to fix this. Hold on. Case. Oops. That's a dot. Then we just move to. Oh. Actually, no. If it's a dot, then actually that would cause things to break because you're already in decimal. Where? There we go. Right here. Lexent. So if we're inside an integer and we reach a dot, then that means we want to move to decimal. And then from there, it'll move on and do whatever. But anyway, okay. Sorry, kind of got sidetracked there. Back to what I was doing, and we're too far down. Hold on. Where? Here we are. Operators. Okay, so that's about 475. Okay, good to know. All right, so we need to do yd lex or. We'll go and go down yd lex xor. Let's go ahead and list all of these because there's going to be a lot. Yd lex not lex add oops, it's an L. One thing that I will probably end up doing, I mean, the layout here will be very similar to how things are going to be done for the, oh gosh, what's it called? For when I write this in this language, once I've actually gotten this thing to work. But one change that I'm going to make is my understanding, and I could be wrong here, but I'm pretty sure this is how it works. My understanding is that switches will do bounds checking on this value. And I don't know if that's something that actually has to happen. So I'll have to look into that a bit more. But anyway. Okay, mod, and then what? Geez, keep screwing this up. Okay. Lex, what else was the next one? I think it was equals. Which is, yeah, just assign, and then what else? Oh, I forgot greater than, less than, and all that. Okay, I'll need to do those two. All right. Access. Lex. Last one was option. Okay, so we'll start with that. Okay, first things first, I'm just going to actually copy this here. So go top. Yeah, okay. And then it's going to be or equals, which is basically going to be an assignment. Otherwise, it'll just be or. And I don't think there's anything else that the or symbol would be used for. So I think we're good there. Basically just go through, do the same basic thing throughout. Just make sure that the correct, oh, right. I moved that far. Yeah. The only places where that's not going to happen are, let's see, so not equals is a valid type, but there's some cases where this arrangement isn't going to quite work, like for and, because, not and, sorry, add, because add you could also have an option for increment. What we'll do is have add equals. There will also be a case where you could have, increment. And I don't think I actually have that operator, the increment operator, in the setup, which I should probably fix. Oops. Okay. And actually, something else that's never mind. Yeah. Coding and talking at the same time is not as easy as I once thought. Okay, so let's go ahead and deal with that now. Hold on. Token.h. Go here, and let me just check, make sure, yeah, all of these are there. Opt, access, sign, those are all there. Those I need to deal with. Yep. Okay, so let's go and throw them at the bottom here. So ydtt increment, ydtt decrement. And let's go and copy those real quick, and then go to token.c and throw them in so that it's clear.
Okay, you know what?
Actually, hold on a sec here. Me. All right. One thing that I actually learned recently, go ahead and change this a bit, is that you can go through and do this sort of assignment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of switch things around a bit. And just say unknown. Say keywords. So now I no longer need this keyword type. So
You can eat without moving. Please don't sit down and get on your phone. You have things
So I recently learned that you can address parts of the array like this, which is actually kind of neat. I didn't know you could do that. But just got to go through, modify all these. And I realized this is actually kind of I suppose I'm kind of wasting my time here in a way. A lot of work that doesn't really lead to a whole lot of benefit, but go ahead and oh geez, this is going to take a while. Hold on. Can't really stop now that I've started, so. Mm. Hold on. It's fine. Just go here. There's no easy way to do this quickly, unfortunately. Mm. Okay, well, yeah, this was a mistake. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and ignore that for the moment. I'll focus on other things. Hold on. I'll just comment this out for now. Not the best solution, but it's better than kind of screwing myself over by spending all this time doing something that's not actually going to make things happen. So we'll do this. Okay. Let's go to the lexer and just continue working on this. So go here and all right. Copy this. Just modify it. Okay. And go up here real quick. Just grab this one. Um, Okay, here's where things are a little more complicated. So we've already advanced. Let's see if it's a digit of some kind. So we'll need to just go list all of these real quick. Actually, no, this is a sign. Never mind, this is a sign, not access. So this would just be tt equals, and otherwise be sign. Okay. Access, that's where things are going to be a little different. So it's going to be 0, and let's just go copy. Nope, never mind. Okay. There. Okay, so if it's a digit of some kind, then we want to go to decimal. Actually, we don't need to assign that. Hold on, let's get rid of that. This is going to advance to decimal, though. There. What else? So that's basically going to solve the issue of if a number starts with a decimal point. So if we were to do something like that, right? That's still decimal. Okay. All right. And default is going to be access. I don't think there's any situation where I want to allow any other sort of operators with that. I think. So I think that's everything I need there. And then option, I can't think if there's anything that option needs to, I think that's really just option is just its own thing all on its own. I don't think there's any sort of like option equals or anything. So what I'll do instead of having it jump to there, I'm going to go to the top real quick, and then there we go. Instead, I'm going to have it go to end, because that is a terminating point right there. Like it's all by itself. There's no other possible thing it could be. Okay. Token type ydtt opt. There. Okay. Now I need to go through and add in all of the. Let's see. That's less than, greater than. I think that's all of those. So these are going to advance to yd lex less and lex greater. Move to like 600. Yep. id lex less, id lex greater. Okay. Just copy this. Okay. What is it? GTE, and this is just going to be GT. T LTE. I think that's everything I need there. Is there anything else? I don't think there is. I think that's everything. Okay. Let's see if this compiles first. Okay. Hold on. Okay, so we'll go through here real quick. All right, need to go to the token real quick. Token.h. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do. I guess we'll just change these to that. Actually, wait, no, I don't want to go there. I don't want to go to the .h. Oops. Somewhere around here. Okay. This needs to be fixed because that does not exist. Doesn't it? It does. I don't think it does anyway. Hold on. I need to go to token.h real quick. Make sure that I'm not going crazy. Yeah, it should be any q, not equals. Hold on. Yeah, okay. Let's run in CLI, and let's try plus equals. And there we go. It's not giving me the strings, but it's recognizing those as separate things, so I'll need to fix that other part, but generally speaking, that works fine. Okay. So that should be getting everything. All right. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go modify CLI real quick. So I'll do grab those, and then say it argc plus 1. Let's see. We're gonna go ahead and try to open file, and that's going to just go rp1. let's just go with, yeah, char buffer, say 4, 6. And actually, I don't want to do that. Let's go add read buffer 1095. Buffer, and actually I need to get the length here, so I think that's a long. What's that? Buffer at length equals null. F close. I'll leave the file open. Okay. So while we'll define token, so token. All right. Okay. Just make sure. So if code file. There. So if we get null from trying to open that, then it's going to just exit. Okay. I think that's everything I need, so let's try to. Okay. And we'll do syntax.ys. Okay. Some of these is kind of tough to say whether or not this is correct, so I'm going to have to go through and fix the printing stuff. I think this means that it's unknown, though. I think that's from the comments, so let's go ahead and add in something that helps parse the comments. Okay. So case there, and then advance yd lex comment. Okay. Actually, we'll put this down at the bottom. There. Okay. Lex comment. So switch. Oh, and I still need to do strings. That's something I'll need to take care of here, but I'll do that later. So this will advance to Lex multi-line comment. Case new line go to end. Oh, token type. Okay. And then default will be advance. Probably also put in not gonna worry about that yet. I was thinking I might want to allow people to escape the end of a single line comment, but I don't think I need to. We'll work with that. If I really want to add that in, I'll do it later. Multi-line comment. Base. And everything else just stays in there. Okay, I have multi-line comment. Okay. Oh, sure, close that. Okay. Nice. In CLI stop class. Well, hello. I think I know what part of what might be going on. So just gonna make sure that type. And same here. There we go. All right. All right, cool. Starting to fix some of that. Okay. Well, I will leave that alone for the moment. And I think I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here. I'm going to spend some time fixing the whole printing stuff, that keyword array, and take care of some other minor things. But for the most part, the lexer is done. So the next step is going to be working on the parser. So that will be interesting. But I hope you guys enjoyed and found this interesting or useful. And I will see you again next time. Have a great